Florida. To millions, it's sunshine, beaches, palm trees, theme parks, paradise. But beneath the postcard image, beyond the crowded highways and tourist traps, lies another Florida. A darker Florida. A state soaked in mystery. A land where highways are cursed. Bridges cry out in the night. Cemetery chairs wait for visitors after midnight. And trees are said to remember murder. Tonight, we travel deep into the shadows of the Sunshine State. Not ghost stories told for fun. Not campfire tales. These are the legends whispered by locals, passed down for decades. Stories that refuse to die. And whether you believe them or not, something happened. Tonight, we uncovered the Devil's Tree of Port St. Lucie, Bloody Bucket Bridge, the Devil's Chair of Casadega, and the infamous I-4 dead zone. These are Florida's darkest urban legends. Some legends begin with imagination. Others begin with blood. Deep in Port St. Lucie, inside the wooded area once associated with Oak Hammock Park, stands or stood, in local lore, a massive oak tree known as the Devil's Tree. Its twisted branches stretch wide like claws, and locals say the tree is cursed. The most repeated story ties the site to a real-life serial killer, Gerard John Schaefer, a former deputy sheriff convicted of murdering young women in the 1970s. Some versions of the legend claim victims were tortured or hanged near the tree, blending documented crimes with folklore over time. As the story spread, the tree transformed into something more than just wood and bark. People claimed chainsaws broke when anyone trying to cut it down. Axes shattered. Fires would not burn it. Visitors reported hearing screams in the dark. Some said ropes could be heard tightening overhead. Others claimed to see hooded figures performing rituals beneath the branches. Is any of it true? No hard evidence supports the supernatural claims. But legends don't need proof. They don't need fear. And fear grows well in the dark. Imagine walking that trail at night. No city noise, no street lights, just insects, wind, and one ancient tree waiting in silence. Would you touch it? Would you stand beneath it? Would you dare look up? In rural Wauchula, there's an old crossing known as Bloody Bucket Bridge. Even the name sounds cursed. Several versions of the legend exist. One of the darkest claims, a midwife or caretaker murdered infants and disposed of them near the river, carrying buckets of blood to dump into the water. Another version says the bridge got its name from a nearby tavern, once known as the bloody bucket. That's how legends survive. Truth mixed with horror. Locals say during a full moon, the water beneath the bridge turns red. Some hear babies crying in the distance. Others hear splashing, as if someone is drowning again and again. Paranormal investigators have visited for years. Some leave with recordings, others leave with nothing. But almost everyone leaves uneasy, because there's something deeply unsettling about lonely roads, especially roads with names like this. Picture yourself driving there at midnight, headlights sweeping over rusted rails, the bridge ahead, engine off, silence, then a crying sound from below. Would you investigate or lock the doors and drive? If one place in Florida embraces the paranormal, it is Cassadaga. Known as a spiritualist town, famous for mediums, readings, and ghost stories, Cassadaga already feels like another world. And just outside town, in Lake Helen Cassadaga Cemetery, sits a simple brick bench. Locals call it the Devil's Chair. The legend says if you sit there at midnight, the devil may appear beside you. Another version says leave an unopened beer on the chair overnight. Return in the morning and it will be empty. Most likely, pranksters or animals explain the beer story. But logic has never stopped legend trippers. For decades, people have snuck into the cemetery hoping to witness something impossible. Some claim whispers. Some feel sudden cold. Some refuse to speak about what they saw. And perhaps the scariest part, the chair itself looks ordinary. No horns, no symbols, no warning. Just brick, waiting. Sometimes, the most terrifying things don't look terrifying at all. Would you sit there alone? Midnight. No flashlight. No phone. Just you. In an empty seat beside you. Florida's most famous curse may not be in the woods or in a cemetery. It may be on the highway. Interstate 4 runs through central Florida, but one stretch near Sanford has earned the nickname the I-4 Dead Zone. The story claims the highway was built over graves belonging to an old cemetery tied to immigrant laborers, and that disturbing the burial ground unleashed a curse. Since then, locals connect numerous crashes, strange sightings, and mechanical failures to that stretch of road. Drivers report sudden fog, phantom vehicles, figures standing near the shoulder, then vanishing, engines stalling for no reason. Many accidents have happened along I-4, though traffic volume and congestion are the real-world explanation. But legends ask a different question. What if not all of them were accidents? Millions drive that road. Most pass safely. But some swear the atmosphere changes the moment they enter that zone. heavy, wrong, like something unseen is riding with you. Driving alone at 2 a.m., radio static, no cars nearby. Then brake lights appear ahead, but there's no car. Would you keep driving? Why so many legends in Florida? Because Florida is the perfect breeding ground for mystery. Ancient swamps, violent storms, old cemeteries, rapid growth covering forgotten history, tourists passing through, locals preserving stories, and landscapes that feel beautiful by day but dangerous by night. Urban legends thrive where truth is hard to verify, and Florida has endless places where shadows can hide. Maybe these are only stories. Maybe chainsaws broke by coincidence. Maybe red water was moonlight. Maybe empty beer cans were opened by pranksters. Maybe highway crashes are just statistics. Maybe. But every legend begins somewhere. A scream someone heard. A death nobody forgot. A place that felt wrong. And once enough people believe, the legend becomes real in another way. So now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever visited the Devil's Tree? Driven through the I-4 dead zone? Sat in the Devil's Chair? Or crossed Bloody Bucket Bridge after dark? Tell me your story in the comments. And if you love deep dives into true crime, paranormal mysteries, conspiracies, and the darkest legends America has to offer, subscribe now, because next time we can go even deeper into the shadows.